Is Google always right? How to know when Google is giving you the wrong results. When you're looking for information on Google, are the results always correct? This is a question that many people ask themselves. It seems like every time we search for something, Google gives us different answers and it can be frustrating. There are times when Google will give us the wrong results. How do you know when they're giving you inaccurate information? We'll discuss this in detail below. Google is always testing, changing its results. Google is constantly testing and changing its results. For example, Google will test different images on a search result page to figure out what works best for users. Google will also continually change its algorithms, which means that when you search for a keyword or phrase in the future, it may show something different than what Google has shown previously. Whether Google is right depends on your perspective and how much authority the media has. Another way to think about this question would be, what are we searching for? If someone searches chicken soup, they might see recipes with chicken broth as an ingredient, while if their friend searched only saw results related specifically towards Jewish cuisine like gefilte fish etc., where there was no mention of any type of food items containing poultry whatsoever. Google uses algorithms to determine the most relevant and beneficial results for a certain query. Google is glitchy. Like all computer programs, one of the most common frustrations users have with Google is that it's glitchy or slow. This is especially frustrating for those who are used to using Bing, which has been known to be faster and more reliable than Google search. However, Google is glitchy for a different reason than Bing. Most people are used to using the internet exclusively through their web browser such as Chrome or Safari on an iPhone, and they don't realize that there's more at play with search engines like Google, which has dedicated software specifically created. This is so it can be integrated into other programs running outside of browsers. This means things work differently when you're in your email client checking emails versus opening up Google directly from Chrome. This is because its specific program will run instead rather than being opened within another one. With that said, Google is one of the pillars of technology. Their search engine makes it easy to find anything, and their use of machine learning for image recognition is a cool development in artificial intelligence. But it's not always right, and if you're ever in doubt about what Google is showing as a result of your search query, just do some research on the topic rather than relying solely on Google. It may be more reliable to use another site that does human-curated content like Wikipedia, which was used by many students before using Google, since their information tends to come from experts who have higher knowledge than any average person. Depending upon how much time we want to spend conducting this research, there are benefits which can outweigh disadvantages, such things being outdated or incomplete. At least with other sites, they'll give an explanation why something was omitted. Google is never 100% accurate. Google is often accused of being a bit inaccurate, but it's still one of the best search engines out there. People can do some research to figure out the accuracy of a certain search result. Unfortunately, Google isn't a perfect search engine. You may have encountered this issue yourself when trying to find something that simply didn't turn up in the top results. Fortunately, there are other ways to find what you're looking for. The best way is by using Google's advanced search, which allows users more control over the information they can receive in their results. For example, instead of just searching Hawaii, we could type this into Google: Hawaii weather live. Although not perfect, it does save time and energy as well when making a decision that needs some research behind its conclusion. You've got to pay to play on Google. One of the biggest challenges for businesses trying to get good rankings on Google is that you have to pay either through pay-per-click or with advertising. This means that the results that you see can also include marketing promotions by those that want to get more eyeballs on their results. These are the two ways to get your content ranked on Google. What some websites provide is a form of free advertising that doesn't require any investment, and for those who have limited resources, this can be valuable information in determining where they won't go, but not make them commit time, money, or energy towards something without more research. But what does pay to play mean exactly? This means you will see sponsored ads from businesses trying their best at getting higher rankings with pay-per-click campaigns, which also requires spending some cash up front before seeing results. This adds another layer of complexity when trying to understand whether the results found on Google are really honest results. Google can't do it all. Google is an excellent search engine, but it doesn't work for everyone. Other solutions also exist to help you find the information you're looking for. Google is not a complete solution for everyone. The fact that Google does its best to provide users with the most accurate and relevant results should be used as an aid in finding information rather than solely being dependent on this information. It's important never to rely fully, or even mostly, upon one search engine but instead use them all interchangeably. This way you can find out which result might work better or why your favorite site isn't showing up as it usually is. The more options we have when searching online means there will always something new around every corner. How often is Google correct? According to a study by the University of Michigan, Google is correct about 95% of the time. The study also revealed that when Google is wrong, it's usually only by a few words. This means if you see the same content on multiple pages of search results and they all say something different about an important topic, like how to do your taxes, then chances are at least one result might be inaccurate or out of time with what people want in this moment. Google is not perfect, and like any search engine, it can return a lot of irrelevant or outdated content. Google needs to sort through billions upon millions, upon trillions, the web pages to find what we're looking for. That's why they sometimes miss when something new pops up on your screen that wasn't there before. So how do you know? Try this quick trick. Type site, followed by whatever site's address into Google with quotations around everything after site, e.g. site, Pinterest. When using quotes, all results containing those words will show. So if someone shares an incorrect image about cooking burgers, then try typing burger recipe without quotation marks. Conclusion: artificial intelligence is a wonderful tool that can do many things, but it's not perfect. The way to know if Google is giving you the wrong results isn't by comparing them, but rather by looking at a few different sources and thinking critically about what they say. At the end, you should be wary of anything that anyone says on the internet, and that includes Google as well.